Welcome to another episode of the Granite List Live. I'm your host, Sally Pace, and I'm here with Tim Callender. We're really excited to be here at SIIA 2022. So Tim, tell us a little bit about you and your company.
I'm Leo, and I really enjoy camping. Oh wait, I'm sorry. This is supposed to be professional. Yeah, so Tim Callender, Vice President of Strategic Accounts with the Phia Group, PH, as we talked about earlier, not Phia with an F, but PHI. We sit in a pretty cool spot in the industry. I hope this doesn't sound like I'm backpatting, but I think most people in the industry, if they're listening to this or watching this, they probably already know who we are. We kind of work with everyone, which is super fun. So because of that, we know a lot of the right people. Again, that sounds terrible. I mean, but that's not what I mean.
But it is. You are a household name for those amazing people in the self-insurance industry.
Yes. So anyway, long story short, pretty much everyone here is our client one way or another, whether it's a TPA, whether it's a stop-loss carrier, broker, consultant. For the last 22 years, and we've gotten to know so many of those people that now we're in a position where we can kind of really sit and work with everybody here, help them through their issues. Basically, all boats rise in the self-funded space. Ultimately, our end game is these groups, these employer groups, to see them be successful, have robust benefits, and safe on their health plans ultimately. So, and my fun job is I get to sit up. I get up every morning and I wring my hands and worry about our clients, which is kind of cool. That sounds like a worrisome thing, but it's really not. So I just want to make sure we're being successful and the industry's being successful. That sounds very lofty.
Yes, and we're going to drill down. So tell us, what kind of things do you worry about so your clients don't have to?
Yeah, I would say if I had to pick one thing, because it's easy to go in 20 different directions, I would say, how can we bring costs down for a health plan, an employer-sponsored health plan, while also having very robust benefits, a very good health plan? I would say that's the number one thing we're thinking about, that I'm thinking about every day. Again, you've got that self-funded employer group who is served by all these other people who are here, the TPAs, the brokers, or whatever, the Phia Group, whoever. And the thing that keeps me up at night is, again, how do we keep the costs down while having an amazing health plan? Because some people think those two things are counterintuitive, they're mutually exclusive, and they're not. So that's what gets me excited and worries me at the same time, but in a good way, to then try and make that happen.
Yeah. So, And let's I know you used to play a lawyer by day.
Yes.
And you all are known for your prowess in the legal arena with lots of fancy acronyms from our industry. So can we hit on a couple of those and possibly some of the things that you all are seeing as trends in the marketplace?
Yeah. So, no, great question. And again, I know this is one of those things that could be like a 4-hour conversation. What are we seeing? Where is it going?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. So we're going to do it quick, which is, you nailed it. We've got a handful of employees. Of those, about 30 of us are attorneys, consulting and working with people across the country. So in terms of what are we seeing, not even necessarily legal, but just industry specific, I'd say the acquisition game is really fascinating right now. And anything I say, I'm not saying good, bad, and different. I'm just saying what we're seeing. So we're seeing a lot of folks come in, whether it's maybe a large carrier, or whether it's like a private interest, but people are really interested in trying to bring TPAs in and say, let's take this one TPA, this one over here, and this one over here, and sort of aggregate them under one enterprise. So that's a big thing that's happening right now. Consolidation, acquisition, whatever you want to call it. I'd say the other thing that we're seeing is 10 years ago, the self-funded space was so extremely unbundled. And what I mean by that is, here comes that self-funded group with their consultant, and they go, look at these 2,000 solutions. I don't even know where to turn. Nothing wrong with that. But I'd say that scared a lot of people, confused people. They didn't know which solution to pick. We're starting to see, again, maybe that's the theme of this, consolidation. We're starting to see,
technically engaged, but yes.
Yes. We're starting to see a consolidation of like the vendor solutions. And I'm not saying people are going out of business or going away, but there's only becoming a handful that are risen to the top. So maybe that self-funded group that's coming out is they're not seen as many, they're not as overwhelmed. The other thing I'd say that we're seeing in the industry, maybe this is more legal from the health claims side, is with the No Surprises Act, out-of-network claims this year. Of course, here we are standing before the end of 2022. I think we need more water under the bridge, so to speak, so another year or so, to see what did the No Surprises Act actually do to out-of-network claims. What did it mean in terms of qualified payment amounts? So throwing out some some crazy industry jargon, but the point is we're seeing a lot of stuff in that arena. Out-of-network claims, if I had to pick one thing. Like, what's going on there? Where is it headed? Does it end up with direct contracts, mini networks? What's the no surprise side mean? So a lot of people are trying to figure out out-of-network claims.
All right, crystal ball. What do you think it's going? What do you think?
Well, I think obviously it's gonna be maybe good for the consumer. By consumer, I mean the plan member, right? Who's consuming healthcare. In theory, that was the idea, right? So that John Doe doesn't go and have a surgery and then gets blasted later on with, quote, the surprise bill. So it should help a bit there, but I'm concerned that there will be some cost shifting, and you're going to see. Again, I want to be very candid. This isn't me like saying anybody's good, anybody's bad, but just factually. You're going to see providers respond in a way where they're going to say, and I don't mean providers like you, the doctor, who's a good person, a nice person, but maybe the health system, which is a thing, a big monster of a thing. They're going to say, wow, we're getting hit in the face by this law that's regulating what we can and can't do on these out-of-network claims. So let's find other ways to go after the member, go after the health plan, and get those dollars, whether we agree or disagree on what they're due and whether they should. So we're going to see, I think, new creative ways to go after members, to go after health plans for those dollars from the health system. We're going to see all sorts of crazy things, I think. Anyway, so there you go.
Brace yourselves, people.
Yes,
we're going to see all sorts of
chaos,
but in the most controlled and sensible way possible, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so aside from, we know you have lots of friends here, and aside from getting to catch up with great people, what has been a top takeaway for you the past 2 days?
The past 2 days, the health of the industry, probably a cheesy answer, but I guess what I mean is, in a way, maybe this could be an industry agnostic conference. And what people are excited about was to see how are different industries doing coming out of COVID, whatever that means, coming out of COVID. Anyway, what I've been excited about isn't necessarily a specific takeaway from a session or a new topic or a new solution. Rather, it's seeing the excitement in the industry, seeing a lot of youth in the industry. I think every industry gets worried when they start to look around and go out to every conference, and they're starting to say, well, where's all the new blood? Where are all the new people? How are you guys? Good. Good to see you.
Thanks for showing up.
But sorry, is it? Maybe people that they just hear us and they see us, they'll see that there's people walking by. Good. So it makes sense. But anyway, to see that there is that excitement, that vigor, people are here. So again, not necessarily a specific topic or anything, but that we're doing okay. There's a lot of people here. There's a lot of youth. There's a lot of tomorrow. That sounded really cheesy, but there's a lot of tomorrow.
There.
And then we pause.
I feel like we're and a commercial. We're not recruiting people right now. We're trying to provide
there should be a
guidance
song.
and support.
There's a lot of tomorrow. Ding dong.
You heard it here, folks. Tim Callender. There's a lot of tomorrow. Hopefully,
Hopefully, a lot of tomorrows for all of us. But yeah, it's really cool, and I think the excitement. People are so excited to see each other again, work together in person again, and just keep the industry going. And I guess the other comment I made, just the feedback and talking to people, was coming out of the last 2 years, our industry is actually doing really well. A lot of employers went to self-funding. A lot of people are like, wait, what? How'd you guys do as a company? Did great, and so did so many others, because so many employers during COVID, whatever that means, were looking to save. And so they had a friend, a consultant, somebody that said, hey, get off this fully insured thing, try self-funding. Now, they may have not even known what that meant, but I'm a CFO, I hear here's a way for me to save, we're getting punched in the mouth during COVID. So actually it's self-funding. At least from where we sat, we saw this growth trend in new employers bringing their groups into fully insured platforms and self-funded space during COVID. So that's kind of been reaffirmed here. That's what a lot of people are talking about. So kind of cool.
What about size, group size? I know you work with large groups, but across the board at Phia Group, what are you seeing?
Everything. I would say on the small group size, we're seeing a lot of help in the captive space, which is exciting. Captives have always been a really cool solution for those smaller groups. Years ago when self-funding was kind of popping up on the scene, it was like, wow, you got to be a 20,000 life employer with a ton of cash because you're bearing all this risk, and how can you do that if you're not that type of employer? But yeah, right now, the 50 life group, the 100 life group, those smaller groups, they're popping. It's very popular, and a lot of it's like captive solutions, allowing these groups to come in together and share their risk. So everybody's doing it.
Hands down, most energetic interview of the entire conference. Small groups are popping.
Yep, and a lot of tomorrows.
A lot of tomorrows.
Whatever we said.
Hoping for a lot of tomorrows. Tim, thank you for making this 8:30 a.m. time enjoyable. Hope that you enjoy the rest of SIIA 2022 Engage. We are thankful for you all tuning in to another episode of the Granite List Live.